which will give guarantees on his behalf. Which means what? It is Mehta Group company.
No, but you met Mr. Ram Jethmalani yesterday, Mr. Gurumurthy. You met Mr. Ram Jethmalani. I was there at his house when that meeting took place. Mr. Jethmalani is not buying your arguments. This morning he said he stands by his charges. Despite your presentation to him, he is not convinced.
You see, Jethmalani told me yesterday, today I take you as true, and when I see the documents, then I give me answer. He has not yet seen the document. And what Ram Jethmalani has spoken in the morning, I don't know. If he has spoken like this, then I will have to show him the document and say what it is, because I have seen the document. There is an agreement of March 2003 between Ereda and Purti Group, in which the guarantors' names are listed. Manish Mehta's name, which was to be the original guarantor, has been substituted by 11 of the 14 companies to give guarantees on his behalf. Meaning what?
But even Mr. Lalkrishna Advani is not very convinced, it seems, because he skipped the co-committee meeting yesterday. He wasn't there. So it seems the Gurumurthy findings have not been accepted by the party patriarch either.
You see, I am not interested in whether somebody accepts my finding or not, because I told Advaniji accepted the truth of the thing. But Advaniji, in my understanding, what I was told was that Advaniji, having heard me in the morning, he said the same thing is going to happen in the evening. So, why should he hear the same? 1.5 hours I was with him in the morning.
Okay.
And I was doing the same thing. No decision was being taken in my presence. They only told me, you brief what is your finding. I told them that these 14 companies have not put 1 rupee into Purti. These 14 companies have purchased the shares of 12 companies of Mehta Group and paid 40% of the amount. Maybe 60% of these losses were claimed by the Mehta Group.
Okay.
And this 40% money which they paid has gone to Mehta Group. It has not come to Purti.
Okay, I want to come now.
How do you say there is any money laundering?
Mr.
See, as a professional, I have to be true. And I would like to tell the truth to the media. Basically, these 14 companies have nothing to do with money or proprietorship with Nitin Gadkari.
Okay. Mr. Gurumurthy, I want to come now to the third question that we're going to ask you. We've got 5 questions. I said I want to come to the third big question. Why has the RSS made Gadkari's continuance a matter of prestige? Because we've seen in the past when charges were leveled against Mr. Lalkrishna Advani in the Hawala Diaries case, he took moral responsibility, stepped aside, said let an independent probe be conducted, let my name be cleared, only then will I take public office. Why is Nitin Gadkari not living up to that high standard which is expected from a party which claims to be a party with a difference, Mr. Gurumurthy?
I'll tell you first one thing. L.K. Advani resigned when a charge sheet was filed, not when a media made a report. Today the media makes a report and I find the report totally wrong. I can understand if these 14 companies had put in money in Purti. If these 14 companies which are questioned companies had put money in Purti, then Nitin Gadkari has a moral responsibility. If Mehta Group sells these shares to these 14 companies and receives money from these 14 companies and declares these 14 companies as belonging to them, there is a moral responsibility for Nitin Gadkari.
But at a time when the BJP has made the issue of corruption, Mr. Gurumurthy,
1 minute.
Yes, please.
High standards of moral responsibility comes when a truth is established and you don't respect the truth.
No, but at a time when the BJP...
established.
At the time when the BJP has made corruption its primary plank against the Congress, when the party president is accused of serious fraud and a probe is underway, would it not behove the party and serve its interests better if Nitin Gadkari stepped aside and, as Ram Jethmalani says, came out smelling of roses later if the charges were proven wrong? You are saying this right now, Mr. Gurumurthy. If an independent probe also establishes it, wouldn't Mr. Gadkari's stature go up that much more?
I will tell you one thing. All that, whether Gadkari should continue or not, whether Gadkari should be the future president or not, is none of my issue. All that I wanted to say is that the media had projected as if these 14 companies companies had put in money in Purti, and this is money laundering, which is completely false.
Is it not a fact, Mr. Gurumurthy, that Nitin Gadkari is staying on as BJP president because of his close proximity to the top class at RSS?
You must also.
It's because of his proximity with Nagpur.
Your next question must succeed the answer to your previous question.
True.
I am answering your previous question.
Yes, please.
I am saying that if there is a prima facie charge established on investigation, then Nitin ji must respect it. There is no investigation yet and a prima facie charge, except that the media has thrown charges and I am finding fault with those charges. I am saying the charges are not correct.
Okay, I now want to come to my fourth question. This is about whether an insider was responsible for the leaks and whether part of the reason that Nitin Gadkari is staying on is that the RSS believes that there was a BJP insider who was responsible for the leaks against Mr. Gadkari. Is that not a fact, Mr. Gurumurthy? And I hope you'll be candid, you'll be frank, and you'll tell us what is the truth.
Actually, I'll tell you, I will never speak unless I know a fact. If somebody talks something in the street and I begin talking, then there will be no difference between me and others. In Delhi, everybody talks ill of everybody else. And you know, I am in Chennai. I am brought up in a very different culture. Unless it is known to me, I will never approve of or accept a suggestion that something like that has happened.
Okay, let me come then to my final question. Is Nitin Gadkari's second term as BJP president now out of the question as a consequence of the charges that have been put against him? Also because of the perception that's now been created that he's the BJP's biggest liability. Does that mean that the BJP cannot afford to have the tainted Nitin Gadkari as its president? Mr. Gurumurthy.
Mr. Kanwal, you know, you are addressing this question to totally a wrong man.
I am addressing it to absolutely the right person who understands the RSS, the BJP equation better than anyone else.
No, I tell you one thing. I am not a player. You must understand.
You are the mastermind, the strategist.
If somebody asks for my... Listen, you must... You see, you have asked your question, I must answer it. No, you cannot push question number 5A. I am saying if somebody asks for my opinion, I will give an opinion.
I am asking you for your opinion.
Right person asks one-to-one. I am not going to give an opinion over the national hookup and as an answer to your question for millions of people to view. I have a certain responsibility and that responsibility I will discharge not unasked. This one. Number two, your question is loaded with suggestions, assumptions that Nitin Gadkari has become the biggest liability. Media reports can make anybody a liability today because there is no verification of the reports. Previously, if one media takes a position, another media used to verify the report. Now there is a herd mentality. Everybody has to do the same thing. So I believe the character of the media has changed in the last 10 years and the instant media is one of the most important factors in this.
But Mr. Gurumurthy, is it not a fact? You know, given the fact that Ashok Chavan took moral responsibility, Shashi Tharoor took moral responsibility and stepped aside from their post, while the charges were not proven, the reason that Nitin Gadkari stays on is because Mr. Mohan Bhagwat has made this a matter of prestige, because he installed Gadkari as BJP president, therefore he cannot be seen to sacrifice Nitin Gadkari because that would erode the moral responsibility, the moral authority of the RSS. Is that not what it comes down to?
You see, I will answer it in two parts.
Yes, please.
So far as Ashok Chavan and Shashi Tharoor are concerned, it is not on media reports. It's on investigation. Today you have only media reports and I am questioning those reports.
Okay.
And I am giving you, the media said these 14 companies have laundered money into Purti. Completely false. Let us assume there is some truth in it.
Okay.
Then what you say may be correct. I tell you, nobody, including LK Advani, nobody has resigned or is needed to resign on a media charge. The media charge is certainly relevant for someone to come out with a reply. Advani ji resigned on charge sheet.
Okay.
Ashok Chavan resigned on CBI investigation. There is an FIR. CBI is investigating.
But that's much later. He resigned much earlier. He resigned much earlier. I'm afraid I'm completely...
Hello!
Yes.
Agree.
He resigned much earlier. The charge sheet came much later. I'm out of time. Mr. Gurumurthy, very quickly, final comment.
Today, where is the investigation against Nitin Gadkari?
Well, the SFIO
has asked for a voluntary
and the Income Tax Department are investigating.
There is no investigation against him.
Okay, and let that be the final word.
So, another thing I tell you, so far as the RSS is concerned,
okay,
you better, because this is a loaded question, so and so wants it this way, so and so's authority is needed. Where do you get all these facts?
Well, anyway, you're the ultimate insider.
I have to answer to your impression.
And you've spoken out for the first time. You've laid the facts out in the public domain. People will now make of it what they will. They've heard from S Gurumurthy from the first time. You've played a crucial role. You've come out and spoken to us, Mr. Gurumurthy. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time.